folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Dom. This is Rockin' the Country. I'm looking forward to this because Sammi Smith, I've done her a couple of times. I don't know, I've reacted to a couple of her songs, and it's just one of my joys on the channel to react to these artists that I never listened to growing up, not even into my adult years. It was only through the channel that I, and some of you folks also, are being exposed to these artists, or sometimes a particular song of the artist. You may know the artist, but not have heard the song. And as long as there's a Sunday, you have to love a title like that. And Montauk Ed made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. So I know it's going to put it to me, because this is just what Ed does. So Ed, thank you for this gift, my friend. Ed's in North Carolina by way of almost his entire life in Montauk, New York. All right, let's see what we've got. As long as there's a Sunday. What instrument's this going to start with? It feels like a piano. I think it's going to start with a piano. Let's see. Wrong. Guitar. That was my second choice. I wasn't far off.
Though he can't come to see you every day.
What a voice.
It just happened that things worked out this way.
Good God.
But that don't mean you're not the apple of your daddy's eye. And as long as there's a Sunday, he'll come by.
Ouch.
As long as there's a Sunday, he'll be there. 'Cause I know he thinks about you all the time. Just remember that he never loved you any less, just because his love's no longer mine. Now you're old enough to try and understand that we've worked this out the best way that we can.
Yeah.
Well, here he comes now. Have a good time and tell him I said hi.
Oh.
And as long as there's a Sunday,
He'll come by.
please come by. Just tell him, as long as there's a Sunday, please come by.
Wow. That went so fast. This must have happened on the prior songs I did of hers, because her voice is so compelling. The way she tells it, some people just have it. That certain je ne sais quoi, you try to define it, you try to explain it, you get a few ideas out there, but it's just, it's soothing, it's poignant, it's feminine, it's sad, it's marginally hopeful. Within the context of this song, the breathiness of it sort of spoke of that slightly broken humanity, but resigned or accepting of the circumstances, feeling bad for the kid. The songwriter brought in that component to it right away, that this is set in, a mother explaining it to the child that, mommy and daddy didn't work out. He's in love with someone else. And we tried to work it out the best we could. And you're old enough to start understanding what happened. And you're like, how do you even break that? I mean, I didn't have biological kids of my own. So when I got divorced, I didn't have to deal with that part of it. I didn't want to get divorced. It was her choice. But it's still one of those situations that's brutal. But I know a lot of folks, of course, as a life coach as well, I talk with people who either are getting divorced, thinking of getting divorced, or are divorced and telling the children. And of course, I have friends who have gotten divorced, and that's just not life coaching. That's just part of life where you have people who have to break it to the kids. And it's like, that's one of the things that'll keep a marriage together. And it's not wrong. Your own happiness isn't always the only factor in life, as we know. Other people's happiness, other people's well-being, other people aren't our happiness generators. That's not their job in life to generate happiness for me. It's also not their job to generate undue unhappiness or mean-spiritedness or angst and such. So you want to that's where communication comes in to try to solve these things. It's not always solvable. They call them irreconcilable differences. But telling the children and their marriages who, yes, have stayed together for the kids and then got divorced, right? Mom and dad weren't happy along the way, but they did it out of a sense of duty and well-being for the kids, then got divorced when they graduated high school or college, whatever the deal may be. Okay, fair enough. But there are other marriages that they thought they were going to get divorced. They thought they wanted to get divorced, but they just couldn't bring themselves to tell the kids, and they stayed together, and that marriage worked out. They worked out their problems in the meantime, and that's what Nassim Nicholas Taleb might call silent evidence. That doesn't show up in the divorce. Well, it shows up in how marriages stay together, because the divorce rate is directly tied to the non-divorce rate, otherwise known as marriage. But all that said, what a voice! What a compelling 3-minute song where you could see it, like in your mind's eye, you could see. But as long as there's a Sunday. All right, Ed. Yeah, you did it again, as you do. I mean, I gotta rate this song, and I don't know what you're gonna want to pour down my back on this one, but this is the inverse of a Montauk Ed special. This one was a 9.8. That's what popped into my head. I don't know what kept it being a 9.9 or a 9 or a 10.0, but a 9.8. What do I pour down my back on that one, if anything? But that was a hell of a song, as you could tell. So, all right, folks. You can thank Montauk Ed for that one. I sure do. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video, and keep rocking the country.